Greetings, this is Edo Jumbo. So what we're going to do in this tutorial is we're going to concentrate on the layout and some styling so that our app will be in a more usable state. So just to show you, just today in the morning when I went out, I put the chickens out, and some of them, about 4 of them, just disappeared, and so I was trying to get them to go back so I can start my live stream. I also had to do some work just before this, and they wouldn't go in, so I didn't want to force them or run after them, and it was getting cold. So what I did was I had to start actually using the app, and I'll show you just briefly what here's the app. So you can see right here is where the coop is, and I'm using the back camera, so I'll be able to monitor if some creature, like say a fox or a hawk, comes around to cause some issues. So that's what we're going to do today. Is basically we're going to allow you to pick a camera and also do some styling, some improvements from the last time. So right now the app is actually being used. It's being used now. I'll bring that again in a few seconds. So once again, to follow along for this tutorial, what you need is all you need is a node, like an absolute phone. Most smartphones for at least the past 10 years, they do have like a front camera and a back camera. So that's why you need to be able to choose one of those cameras. I personally want to use the back camera because the only thing that could be facing, for example, the sun or the elements will be the back camera, which is already protected, and then the screen, the front screen and the front camera will be just on the inside. So that's it. So we'll talk about some of those issues we're having. For example, for my particular setup is on mobile phones is that you can't just use the camera in the background. The screen has to be on. So one of the workarounds I did was I went to the developer options, and I put I selected the option where once it's charging, the screen never goes blank. So obviously I don't need the screen to be fully backlit. So what I do is I also turn down the light or the view for the display, because I don't need it. In fact, because I'll be just looking at the photo on my workstation while I'm working. Like right now I'm working. I'm doing a live stream, so I'm able to view what's going on there. Okay, so then last time what we did is we created a self-signed certificate, and we used Stunnel because we're using the PHP built-in web server. So that's good as well. And then so I explained that in the last video. So for this one, there's some phones do have a dual camera. So you don't know what a dual camera is. Basically what a dual camera is it can capture photos and videos from both the front and back cameras at the same time. I don't need that feature because I mean at this time I don't need that feature because all I care about is just taking a picture at a certain interval. So if I see something, I can stop what I'm doing and go outside and look after the little dinosaurs. So once again, these are the phones I do have. This discontinued devices. One of them is an Apple iPhone SE, the first generation, and the other one I have is a Sony Xperia XA1 Ultra. So this one, the Sony came out in 2017. I actually got it in 2018, and I used it and just replaced it just last year with my latest driver, a daily driver. And this Apple iPhone, I got this one in 2021 because I had to test something for a client for there was a select HTML code that wasn't working properly, so I needed to see it. So that's why I bought it. I bought it used from eBay. So both still work fine. I said I just use this one for testing, and this one I did use this. I did use it as a Wi-Fi for Wi-Fi to connect to my laptop before I got a Wi-Fi card for the workstation. So, but I'm saying is right now I don't use them for anything, but I'm saying they can be repurposed. And in the future, what I might do is I might take this one's camera or this one's camera, take it out, maybe put in a Raspberry Pi. That way, I can run just the camera in the background without having the display. So those are the type of things I can do as well. So the code, everything is exactly the same as the last tutorial. However, last tutorial, I didn't explain why I modified the how to select the camera. So that's what we're going to do. I'm going to explain that in this video, and that's what we're going to do. So everything else will stay the same. The PHP and the Stunnel configuration, all this will stay the same. And as I said, it's actually working right now. So let's. So I'll also use NetBeans for this. So this is the purpose. So this is what you will see when we're done today. Is that on a desktop, or for example, using a laptop or maybe a tablet type desktop hybrid, you will get this. You'll get a select, and you'll be able to select one of the webcams. Obviously, on a desktop, you can connect multiple webcams. So you select one of a different camera, select it, and then I left the record button because sometimes you want to do a preview before you just start recording. So that's why in the future I might remove the recording, and as soon as you select the camera, it will start automatically recording. And then if you go to the select camera or no camera or something, and then it will stop recording. I might do that as well. So on my daily driver device, on my daily driver, you see it detected 4 cameras. However, only 2 of them work because it's a Samsung Galaxy FE. I don't know what FC stands for, Fan Edition, I guess. But that one, I'm not able to use camera 2.2 and 2.3, but I can use 2.1 and 2.0, and that's fine. And this is the preview again of where I'm working right now. And obviously, this is the video you're watching right now. And just to let you know that JavaScript is open source. It follows MScript standard, licensed under W3 software license, which allows commercial use, modification, distribution, and making derivatives proprietary. Just to let you a quick reminder that every day I'll be doing a live stream, at least every weekday. It will be on BitChute, so just check ojambo.com for details. Basically, scroll down to the bottom into the footer, and you see my BitChute channel. Then you will be able to follow along live and ask questions. I'll be able to answer them for you. Excuse me. So so you just log into BitChute if you want to ask questions. So you don't have to ask questions that way. You can obviously also, just like, subscribe, and you can comment, and I can respond that way as well. If you have any special requests, you can do it that way, or just contact me directly. Okay, so let me check let me see what's going on here. I'll do a refresh to see if there is any. Okay, there's some viewers, but nobody has typed any comments yet. So what I'll do is I'll open up NetBeans, and then we'll continue from there. So I'll start up NetBeans. Okay, NetBeans takes a little while. Okay, there we go. So this is NetBeans. So this is where we left off with our take photos. With the take photos, what it did is, you see that I just put a title here. I put a meta. Oh, let me zoom in here so you can see a little bit better. So we're still going to use this name take photos, but we're going to modify this to, we're going to modify it to add the select, to select camera. Because right now when we run this, it picks a camera. By default, it's usually the front camera, unless you hard code it to make the back camera your default, then that's what we use. But we want to make it simple, because I said for now, most devices do come with at least 2 cameras, but in the future there may be multiple cameras even on your desktop. So you want to be able to select a camera for one thing and maybe another one for something else. So that's the use case in mind. And then, okay, so let's get started with the coding here. I said I'm using NetBeans IDE. It's a free open source Java created or Java-based application, but it comes by default from Apache netbeans.org, where it already comes built in with, you don't have to install any plugins or anything. You just download and it starts working immediately. Okay, so what we'll do here is, so for the select, so we're also doing styling today. So what I'm going to do is up here in the head section. So the first thing is you just put a title, and this is the title that will show up. So I chose select camera, and the meta set here. This is just for the char set. I don't need this if I'm on a Unix type system. So Unix type systems are Linux, which I have, Mac OS, and Unix like a BSD type systems. They're usually UTF-8, but if you're on Windows, you might need this. I don't really need it, but I just stay there for historical reasons. So I'm going to add another meta tag. Name equals, it's going to be a view port, and the content equals width equals device width, and initial scale equals 1. So this here will allow me to, so this on a smaller device, especially a phone, it will use the device width. So this way it won't look like it's too zoomed in, or you have to zoom in to see things properly. So this is one of the things. And then just for historical reasons, you can put this, I can create a style for this. So for styles here, so we can then style the button or the video. So for example, I'll just show you button. We can give it a color. You can say button, and we can give it a color. So whatever color you want. So we can give it green. Oh, green will be the font. So then we can also give it a background. We can say background. I'll say bound. Red is actually pretty good, so I'll make it red. It's not good, but I'm just showing you how you can do your styles here. And the video tag, you can also do some fancy things here. Okay, so this is the JavaScript. So I will, so just in case somebody's watching this for the first time, I'm going to remove all this, and we'll create our own. So this is a button here. This is to record. So I'm not going to create another button. I'll just use one button, and the button will be for recording on and off. So when it says record, that means that there's no recording taking place. When there's a recording taking place, then this will change to the word recording, meaning that it's active. And then when you press it again, it will stop and go to recording. So it will toggle to be a toggle button. So here I also create a select. Then you can style this select, make it whatever color you want and whatever size you want as well. Okay, and then the video tag, and then here's the JavaScript. With JavaScript, you no longer need to type the this here. You can see this warning. It will tell us that these days it's unnecessary, because most of the scripts you're going to use will probably just be JavaScript. So that's unnecessary. I can remove that. I can just leave script. And then if you remember from past tutorials, we can have JavaScript start immediately by creating an IIF function. Okay, then we close it off, and then to start it again as a function, we can do that. Parentheses and close it off. So that's what I do. I like to close off my tags or anything I'm doing, so that way they don't interfere, or I don't forget or make any mistakes. So the first thing is I'll create a stream. This is I can call it stream, but I like to use 3 letters, just simpler. And the IID, this is going to be for the interval. When you create an interval in JavaScript, it gives it an ID. So this ID is the one we need to save, because when we stop it, remember this is a toggle button, so when we stop, we want to be able to stop, target that specific ID. So that's why this is here for interval ID. Then I also need to create a one for the video tag here, this one. So what I'll do is, actually I will, okay, that's fine. So I need one for the video tag, so it'll be document the query selector, and the one I want is this one, video. Then I also need one for the button. So document.query selector. Because I have to look after the chickens, I'm going to leave this always on top. So I'm going to put this here so I can monitor if something happens here. Okay, just a little paranoid. I haven't seen any foxes on the property, but very recently there was deer, a lot of deer. So maybe a wolf or wild dog or coyote might be tracking them. So I don't want the chickens to be any danger. Okay, so that's a button, and then I also need one for this select, because this select, we're going to fill it up. This is going to be our select dropdown. We're going to fill it up with options to select as many cameras as we have. So for example, on this workstation, I only have 1 camera, and so I need to be able to select it. I'll select it. And then if I unselect it, it will then stop the recording and then start recording from another camera. If I select the first the option, which is nothing, then there will be no recording. The recording will automatically stop. So again, it's a query selector, and it's select. Now, if you're wondering why I didn't give this an ID or a class, is because I don't need to, because there's only one of them. And I said this particular web application is only, it's very simple, meaning that there's literally only 1, 2, 3 elements that I'm targeting. So I don't need to give them a specific ID or anything like that. And then what I would do, so you need to do this, navigator.media devices.get user media. So this needs to run first in order to trigger it to be able to fill this select button. There's other ways you can do the same trick, is maybe check what is available, but this is the easiest way because we need to do it again. So say true. I don't need audio, but in the future I might grab the audio. So let me put this up here. Oops, don't zoom in. This is actually moving, even if you think it's not. So false. Need to close that off. So this is an object. I could have put this inside a separate. I could have put that inside a separate. What do you call it? This should be a comma. Sorry. I could have put this part with these squiggly brackets. I could have put that in a separate variable, but I did not because there's no need to. It just looks a little bit cleaner. So this needs to be triggered so that we'll be able to do the next one, which is the media devices. Another option is you can simply just put this in a function and then call it. So by default, it will use the default camera, and then in the select, I would have to change it to say, okay, this is the one that's active now, and I really want to do that. I just want to make it this works. So media devices, emulate devices, then create a variable code. I'll convert them into all devices. I said close that off, and then here I'll say let VDS equals devices dot filter. So all I care about is the device that is kind equals a video input. All I care about is the video input. I don't care about the audio input. So there's also one device could be video out. So for example, I might need the video out, meaning that let's say this device was actually even where it is right now. What I could do is I could make it play a sound, a very loud sound, if something comes close to the chickens, right? Like if it detects something, it will start making a sound. That's another option you can do. So this should be VDS, short for video devices. Then opt equals VDS. I'll use map. I do have a tutorial on how to use maps, and also on the ojamboshop.com Learning JavaScript course. Okay, so return. So I'm using the template strings. So it's option value equals I like using template strings because it allows me to use double quotes or single quotes without having to worry about escaping them. Okay, so vd dot device id, and then we need another one, vd the label. This all comes from the immediate devices. It will give me this information. And then the option. Okay, so it's going to do this. Then when this is done, what I can do then, I'll say dot inner HTML equals, again I use a template string. I create an option. This will be the default option. So the default option, the value will be nothing. Then the label, if you will, I'll just say select camera. So when I do that, and then what I do is I just append opt.join like this. So it will just leave no spaces and no, if I wanted to in the next line I could have did a break line or something else, but I don't need it. That's just fine. So now this is going to fill the select with the options. Okay, then what I need to do is I need an event listener for the select, meaning that when something, if you select a different one, something happens. So then it will be add event listener change Okay, then I say if the stream is not equal to null, remember this one, this is the stream, if it's not equal to null, meaning there's something in it. Oh, so then I'll say get tracks. Then I'll use a for each loop track. Then what do we do? So we stop the track and vid source object dot remove track. Okay. So that would do that, but the problem is the video will still continue playing. It will just be a black line, so we don't want that. So what we'll do is we'll pause it because something might be in cache. Then we set the vid source, we remove it, and then we set the stream variable, set it to set the value to null. Okay, then if you remember now with the select, the first one is going to be empty. So when it's empty, we need to do something. So what I'll do is I'll say if cell.value is not equal to nothing. Okay, so then we have the navigator dot media devices dot get user media video So when you have the video there, instead of saying true, we need to pass in the device ID, and that will be cell.value. Remember the one we set up here. You see the device ID. So that's what we want. And then the audio, we set that to false. We don't need audio for this particular one. False. And then okay, stream. Okay. Make sure this is closed up properly. So the stream there, so we set our, remember the stream value, so we set that to stream. This will allow us to stop it here. vid.source object equals stream, and then vid.play. So this allows play. So it looks like I made a mistake here. Let's see what I did. Device ID, comma, audio false. Then, oh, this one, I spelled that wrong. It should be like that. Okay. This is why I like using NetBeans or an ID, because you can do things like this. Okay, so this is fine. And then play. Okay, so so here we are. Then the other thing, I don't know why it's going all the way there. Okay, so here, oh, just so you guys can see everything. Okay, so there we go. Now we are done here for this one. So we need another, we need a button event. This is for the recording. So this doesn't change from any of the last two listener. This doesn't change anywhere. Nothing changes here from the last two event. Okay, so we'll go here, make sure we close that off. Okay, so if button.inner Let me see how much time has been here. I'm gonna refresh to see if anybody has any questions for me. Just a second here. So watching. Okay, still says there's only one person viewing. Okay, that's fine. So inner HTML equals record so button dot inner HTML equals recording, and then IID equals set interval Okay, so for the set interval, here we're gonna set it to 3000, which is 3 seconds. Okay, so what we want here is we're gonna put the image on a canvas, create element, taking a look at the chickens, make sure they're fine, canvas, and let context equals canvas dot get context 2D, and canvas dot width equals vid dot video width, then canvas dot height equals vid dot video height, and context dot draw image. Looks like I just answered my own question, is why, even though I'm using the back camera, why am I not able to get high resolution photos? And the reason for that is because there's a limit. So what I'm going to do is I'll probably set the video to the max, and so I'm saying it's fine as well. So the quality is a little bit better. That's the most important thing. So the vid, and then I will get top left, top right, and then the bottom left and bottom right. Hope that makes sense. So basically it's, where's the mouse here? It's the source, which is the video, 0 0, meaning like here, up here, and then down here. So the width here, down, and then the height is obviously down, and then here. So that's what this is. And then go canvas dot to blob. The reason I converted to blob is because if I don't do this, it will submit the data as base 64, basically a text. I don't need that. The blob is just easier to handle, and it's already a binary is what I mean. Okay, I'll make sure you always, where is the mouse? It's hard to see because there's a glare from this the sunlight outside. So let file equals new file. Blob has to be an array for some reason. Image dot png. In the Chrome browsers, I try to use a different format like JPEG or something, but it always comes out as a PNG file, so I'm okay with that. Okay, and then we'll create a form data equals new form data d.append image file, and we use fetch because it's on the same I guess same IP address. I don't need to put a, if this was remote I would put the HTTP or HTTPS, but this one is the same, so I don't need to. I can just go straight to the path of the file, which is a PHP file, fetch, and then the method will be post, and then the body is simply our form data file. So this should be let. And you see, this is a good thing about using an IDE. You see, when you make a mistake, it will, the syntax highlighting will let you know there. So then here we say then, why do you do this to me? Come on. Then we look for the response response.json, then data, so console.log data. You probably don't want to do this on a live site, but I said it's a local. This is just for debugging. I can probably eliminate this or do something else. And then finally, not other than, we just do a catch. Console.error. Okay. So this is great. And here, so we're going to have else button.inner HTML equals record, and then a clear interval, which will be IID. So there we go. Now this is our take photos. So I'm already running the, if you remember what we did last time, I'll show you. This is already running because as you can see, I'm already running this. And as you can see here, we have, you know, it's running. It's been running for a while, and you see it's running every 3 seconds. If you can see here, it's 114. I mean 41 seconds, 44 seconds, 47. So it's running every 3 seconds, as you can see here. So this is already running. And as you can see, the command here is PHP. It's a web server, hyphen capital S. And then this is the IP address it's running on. And to see this in a web version, I'll open this up as well, but I just want to show you that, show that to you. So if I actually go here, and we can type in, I'll just drag, we'll just show you. So 192, oops. So it's HTTPS 192. So we have select camera, that's one that's running, but this one is going to be take photos. Take photos, I think it was. Yeah, take photos. So you can see here, you see the color here, we styled it, and you see select camera. Now you see it asks me if I want to permissions. So I'll click allow. So when I do that, you see there's no camera here. Don't panic. All you need to do is just refresh the page, and you see the camera is now in here. So I can pick the select camera. I don't know why that's empty. I might have made a mistake. Let me go back to NetBeans. I probably made a mistake, added some space or something, or maybe didn't close it off properly. That's closed off properly. So option, equals this, and label. Oh, here, I didn't close this off. This is wrong. Slash. Yeah, so that is why. So let me save this, go back here and do a refresh, and there we go. I got rid of that space. So just be careful when you do this, don't make mistakes. So I got the permissions as you saw, and then I can select a camera. So now you can see nothing is happening. So when I go to so this is the camera, you see its ID. Actually, let me inspect this and we can show you. You can do an inspect body, select here. You see its value is actually undefined. I might need to refresh this again, so they or maybe I made a mistake. I might have made a mistake again. So let me go. I might have made a mistake again. If I click a camera, does it actually work? Okay, it actually does work. I don't know why it says undefined. Or maybe this camera doesn't have an ID because it's a default, so it's it could be, that could be it as well. It definitely has this. I'm wondering why, but okay. But that's how it works, as you can see here. So let me close this, and so you can see this is the preview. I can put my phone on top. This is my daily driver. You see that it does work. I'm not recording now because actually let me record a little bit and then I'll stop recording. So if I click this, you see it's recording, so it's going to send, and you see it's because it's 3 seconds, the same as you see it flashed a little bit. That's because of so yeah, see, it's because both of that 3 seconds. So maybe what I should do, I should change this to 4 seconds so it will flap. Yeah, you see it showed that it flapped there for a second. So if I click this, it will stop. Yeah, there we go. So it stopped. It stops sending to that. Now to see this preview, we don't actually need the URL. So that's just a plain. I can just drag, just to show you. I can just simply drag. Where is it? I'm gonna bring the with the ZZ folder tutorial. So this file here. C photo. You just drag it. Oops, drag it, and this is it here. So this is the same as this one, and see if I can zoom in. Let me see if I can zoom in. Yeah, there's zoom. I'm just zooming in. I don't know. It's kind of faint. You can actually see one chicken here. Whoa. What is? Oh, I thought I thought this was like a mountain lion or something here, but this is just a shadow of another shed. So that's basically it, and you see it's working. So what I'll probably do in a future tutorial is I'll go back to the code, show you here. So so this is good enough, and I say I'm using this right now, as you can see. So what I want to do is I want to use WebRTC, so that way I can send the video immediately without having to without having to use this AJAX where I'm sending it and getting a response. So with WebRTC, I can use a WebSocket. So WebSocket, I can send way more data, meaning that I don't need to do this like where I'm drawing it on, sending the image or sending a snippet of the video. I could also send a snippet of video like every 1 minute. I have to another interval and send it. I can do things like that, but that, as I'm pretty sure you can see, there's a little delay here with 3 seconds. So I'm saying is I can send in real time. That's something I can do, and that's so that's what we'll do in the next video. We will be able to do WebSocket. So the good thing about WebSocket as well is we can also use PHP. PHP does have WebSockets. You need to install an extension for that, or same with Python, or you can just use Node.js, and you can then with Node.js I can run it directly without using PHP. So that will be for a future tutorial. Node.js, of course, you can just install it as well without having to have. For example, with PHP, you can also use a Docker or something like that. So there's options. So we'll tackle that in the next tutorial. So as I said, the styling here was pretty straightforward. One of the stylings I could do as well is maybe when the button is pressed, can have a different color just to do an indication, the different things. The most important thing about this one was this here, this meta tag. Just to show you that when you do the viewport, you can set the device width. This way on a mobile device, it won't be too scaled. It will be scaled appropriately for the device. And just show you the style. So that's the layout. I like the way it looks, as we can go and show you here in the, where's this screenshot? See, you see the layout here. It says select camera. And when I click the select, this is what comes up, and I can pick the camera I want, and then I can start recording. So I do like the way that is. Okay, so that's the end of the coding part of the tutorial. Let's just do a quick reminder that, again, every day, especially every weekday, there will be a live stream, and the live stream will be maybe creating an app or something, and you can ask questions. So just visit ojambo.com for more details. I'll explain it when you scroll to the bottom of the footer. So I am promoting the Learning JavaScript course. You saw we did use JavaScript today. It's available on ojamboshop.com. It's available 24/7. Same with PHP as well, because you saw there's PHP involved for the server. So you can learn at your own pace 24/7. There's no subscriptions. You just go to, there's just a one-time fee on ojamboshop.com. And for both of this, the JavaScript and PHP, which you used in this tutorial today, I do have book versions. For the JavaScript, there's a paperback book and ebook available on Amazon. The links are in the description. For PHP, it's just the ebook. It's available on Amazon. Links are also in the description. If you do enjoy this, be sure to like, subscribe, follow, and all of that, so you don't miss any submissions when I make new videos or new live streams. So please consider supporting me by purchasing one of my WordPress plugins, or programming courses or publications. Or you can also become a donor. So you can become a donor by clicking here, or I made it simple for you. Right in the footer, you can click the donate. It's ojambo.com/donate, and you can donate any amount is fine. So here are the references. Obviously, Stunnel is the proxy if you're using something like PHP, which doesn't have a built-in SSL server, or you can use Stunnel for that. Then here is the customer set price plugin. I've done a video of this to show you how it works. It itself is available on ojambo.com. You simply go to the shop and you can set a price for it. So that's another way you can support me. And here are the courses. There's the JavaScript, Python, and PHP courses. They're all available on ojamboshop.com. The links are here and the references for ojambo.com/choose-and-phone-style-HTML5-security-camera article. And I also have books for all the programming courses. So for example, JavaScript is available in paperback and ebook, and Python and PHP are available as of right now only in the ebook version on Amazon. And there's also, if you need a professional programmer, or you need some consultations, or if you want to learn just tutorials, you can hire me at ojamboservices.com. I help you with custom websites, DNS, Linux, just bash scripting. Maybe your site has been hacked, you need to recover it, database issues. I can help you with all of that. I've been doing this for over 25 years. And I do have, I can show you, maybe I'll make a video of some of the sites I've worked on or some of the projects as well. I'll do that in the future. And maybe you want to make your own application. Maybe it's for Android, iOS, web, mobile, or desktop. I can help you with that, either completed or do it for you from scratch. And again, maybe if you want to learn how to program, not just from the courses or just from the books, you want to learn one-on-one online, I'm available for that as well. If you want to meet in person, I can meet you if it's not too much of a travel distance from where I am. That's fine. Okay, so thank you, and I'll see you in the next one. Oh, before I forget, yeah, if you scroll down to the footer, you see under channels here, there's Odyssey, Rumble, BitChute, and YouTube. Okay, that's it. Thank you.